here in Houston and engineers around the country. It also has the attention of 7 people who are already on orbit, the crew of the International Space Station. That basically means that the Starliner and the International Space Station flight controllers will make their decisions together.
Now, we've already done the go, no-go poll for the joint operations and are currently in joint operations now. But the burn that we're looking at here is number 4. You see that helps us to cross across that line and get to number 5, that inbound fly-around that moves us in front of the space station. 2 inbound fly-around maneuvers that get us directly in front. They're ready to watch Starliner. Again, we're at a good terminal phase initiation burn, heading towards the next inbound fly-around maneuver.
For Starliner, Starliner is approaching eclipse. To monitor, Starliner perform 1.103 CST 100 far field monitoring. You can expect calls from Houston every minute to have you reset the stopwatch until Houston declares that monitoring is complete.
What you're seeing here is a view from the Vesta system as the Starliner itself gets closer to the space station right now, just about a kilometer away. We're now about 15 seconds from the first inbound fly-around maneuver. We may see some of the thruster firings, but it might be a little bit overexposed. We'll see. But targeting looks good. Now about 5 seconds from the ignition time of that burn. See the RCS thrusters that enable that burn. We got to see them firing just in the right amount of sun and the right amount of exposure of the cameras themselves to give us those spectacular views.
Starliner reaches 255 meters.
Station copies good ACI burn and preparing for step 3, 1.102 at 255 meters.
Good read. Station Houston on 2 for Farmer. Farmer, Houston CST will be commanding Starliner at 2154 to resume the approach. Starliner will automatically retreat at 182 meters and hold at 200 meters. You can monitor the retreat per step 4 in 1.102. One of the antennas on Starliner. We will need to use this antenna again at 2215. If it does not come up, we expect to have a 7-minute LOS until we come up on the next antenna. So it just may delay the time to when we would resume the approach. We expect that we can make up that short amount of time by decreasing the 90-meter hold time.
Up to Bob Hines, who is right next to Kjell Lindgren. They're monitoring the Starliner's approach to the International Space Station. It's currently at a 200-meter hold, as was designed with the automatic retreat once it hit the keep-out sphere at about 182 meters.
Station Houston, Space Ground 2 for Starliner status. Kjell, Farmer, wanted to bring you up to date with what we were talking about down here. On WIF 17, we are looking at the difference between the little TY in the middle of the circle and where Starliner actually is. Right now, we're in great shape. Starliner's within the circle, so keep monitoring. We're just trying to get comfortable with why we understand that there is an offset there.
And go for station.
So what we'd come up with is the T that you see in the middle of the circle. For whatever reason, that is not correct. We do have very good confidence that Starliner is within the circle, and as long as you see Starliner in the circle, we are in a good config. We can verify that through RPOP and ground telemetry that it is in a good config. Station Houston, Starliner has resumed the approach, performed step 6 in 1.102.
Starliner is on the move. Next stop, 90 meters. Starliner moving in towards the International Space Station. Starliner maneuvering to keep those sensors pointed at the space station, just as it's been throughout this rendezvous and docking. And in fact, we're seeing some of the imagery coming from those cameras aboard the Starliner spacecraft. Watch as Starliner approach. Starliner is 63.5 meters away. from the space station's forward port. Hold point that you see there on your screen. It'll take 4 minutes for Starliner once.
You can expect the teams, they're talking about it now, to go ahead and execute that maneuver. And they just did. Final approach initiation has been commenced.
Houston on 2. Starliner final approach has begun. Perform steps 8 and 9 in 1.102.
Contact capture. All 6 hooks on gang 1 are closed.
Hard mate is complete. ISS thrusters are enabled, and we can welcome Starliner to ISS.
That completes all 12 hooks being closed, meaning that Starliner is fully connected to the International Space Station docking port. The umbilicals will be extended momentarily to connect the video and electrical networks, the data and electrical networks between Starliner and the International Space Station.
Thanks, Steve. That's right. Everyone here is pretty happy to see the Boeing Starliner arrive at the International Space Station, docking to that Node 2 Harmony port. And this is the first time that we have both commercial crew partners dock to the International Space Station at the same time. So a really cool sight to have both Crew Dragon and Starliner there. So teams are continuing to monitor as those hooks drive to firmly secure Starliner to the space station. And it takes about 10 minutes for that hard mate to be secured.
Ed Van Cise has moved Starliner to dock mode. Another first.
That's applause you hear.
Houston, space to ground 2 for Starliner.
Go for station.
Hard mate is complete. ISS thrusters are enabled, and we can welcome Starliner to ISS.
That's great news. Thank you to Rob. Thank you to the entire ops team for some great work tonight. To the joint Boeing and NASA team, the crew of Expedition 67 would like to offer our congratulations on this momentous occasion. Today marks a great milestone towards providing additional commercial access to low Earth orbit, sustaining the ISS, and enabling NASA's goal of returning humans to the Moon and eventually to Mars. Great accomplishments in human spaceflight are long remembered by history. Today will be no different. So to Starliner, its commander, Rosie the Rocketeer, and all the men and women who poured their hearts and souls into this vehicle and this mission, welcome to the International Space Station.